Have you ever heard that there is a fruit that can significantly improve your sex life after 60? I'm not talking about expensive medicines or invasive treatments, but watermelon. That's right, you heard. Watermelon can increase your sexual performance, and today, I'm going to explain exactly how this happens and how you can take advantage of this natural secret to bring more health and pleasure to your life. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe here to the channel and leave that like, because that way you help me take this content to more people who also deserve to live well at all stages of life. Let's go. Today I want to talk to you about a subject that is often left aside, but that deserves all our attention: sexual health in old age. It may seem that the passing of the years is an obstacle to having a full intimate life, but this is not true. After all, each stage of life comes with different opportunities for self-knowledge and well-being. It is perfectly possible to live moments of pleasure and satisfaction, even when you are no longer so young. And best of all, there are simple ways to help the body function better, such as adopting a more balanced diet and some healthy habits that we will see throughout this conversation. Stay here because by the end of this video you will understand how watermelon, in particular, can become a powerful ally in improving sexual performance, especially after 60, 70, or even more years of life. To begin with, I would like to get out of the way any taboo that may exist. Talking about sexuality is talking about health, quality of life, happiness, and well-being. It is something that has always been with us, and there is no exact age to stop thinking about it. Unfortunately, many people believe that after a certain age, it is time to give up this type of pleasure. But there is no reason for this, as it is a natural topic, which can be enjoyed with correct information, respect for one's own body, and of course, a good dose of open conversation when necessary. When we talk about sexual performance, we are not talking about competing or achieving records. We are talking about feeling good, with energy, with desire, with that nice feeling of being alive and willing to share moments of intimacy. Often, routine, stress, or even health problems end up interfering with our ability to feel pleasure. With aging, normal physiological changes occur, such as decreased elasticity of blood vessels, hormonal changes, and even reduced libido. But, lucky for us, there are simple tools that can help minimize or even reverse some of these effects. Before going specifically into the topic of watermelon, it is worth remembering that there is no magic formula for sexual health. It is a set of factors that, added together, result in a body and mind prepared for pleasure. And here are some important words: physical exercise, good nutrition, stress management, healthy relationships, sex therapy when necessary, and of course, self-esteem. The big issue is that if only one of these pillars is out of balance, it is likely that all the rest will be harmed. That is why it is no use just betting on a single element and forgetting about the set. However, there are certain very specific tips that can kick things off and contribute a lot, and watermelon is one of them.
You may be wondering, but what does watermelon have to do with sexual performance? Maybe you never imagined that red, juicy, and sweet fruit could have some kind of influence on your intimacy, right? Well, the secret lies in a substance called citrulline, an amino acid present in large quantities in the white part of the watermelon, there between the red pulp and the rind. In the body, citrulline can convert into arginine, another amino acid that, in turn, stimulates the production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is essential for the dilation of blood vessels, promoting better blood circulation. Why is this important? Well, proper blood flow is one of the key points for a good sexual response, both in men and women. In men, erection depends on a robust blood flow in the genital region. In women, lubrication and sensitivity are also impacted by this flow. So, when a food helps to improve circulation, as is the case with watermelon, it can be an ally in preventing or minimizing certain difficulties that arise with aging. Many people like to eat watermelon only in the sweetest red part, but the part near the rind is very rich in citrulline. Some people make juices, including clear parts of the fruit. Others prefer to add small pieces of this region to salads, as it has an interesting texture. There is no right or wrong way to consume watermelon, but if your goal is to make the most of these properties, it is worth not throwing away all that white part. Try blending everything in a blender, along with the red core,
and you will have a refreshing drink full of benefits. At the same time, we need to point out that watermelon, by itself, is not miraculous. If the person continues with harmful habits, such as a sedentary lifestyle, smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and poor diet in general, the positive effects can be masked or lost along the way. It's an important piece of the puzzle, but it's not the only one. So that we can keep the attention of those who are following this video, I now want to bring some information on how to enhance these effects, combining food with a healthy lifestyle. First point, hydration. Over the years, the feeling of thirst tends to decrease, which makes many elderly people drink less water than necessary. Watermelon already helps in this aspect because it has a large amount of liquid, but it still does not completely replace the intake of pure water. Keeping the body hydrated is essential for all systems to function properly, including the circulatory, which is so important for sex life. Second point, regular physical exercise. There is nothing more stimulating than the body in motion, even if it is light walking, water aerobics, yoga, or stretching. It is a fact that the practice of physical activities improves circulation, strengthens the muscles, brings more energy and disposition. Another fundamental aspect is the gain of confidence in one's own physical capacity, which translates into higher self-esteem. And good self-esteem undoubtedly reflects on sex life. Third point, mental and emotional health. There is no point in having a healthy body if the mind is stressed, anxious, or depressed. There are many situations that can affect our emotional well-being, especially as we age. Family losses, changes in routine, retirement, a feeling of worthlessness or loneliness. All of this directly impacts libido and sexual performance. Therefore, it is important to have someone to talk to, whether it is a therapist or someone you trust. Practice meditation, be part of community groups, maintain activities that give meaning to life. Pleasure is not only born from physical functioning, but also from a calm and well-cared mind. And here comes another fundamental tip: openness to talk about the subject. Often there is shame or fear of talking to the partner or even health professionals about the difficulties that may arise in sexual life. If you feel that something is getting in the way, don't be afraid to make an appointment with a doctor or a sex therapist, as they are prepared to guide, indicate tests or treatments that may be necessary. Speaking of treatments, of course there are specific medications for erectile dysfunction or lubrication problems, but we should not jump straight to them without first considering the basis of everything: balanced diet, hydration, exercise, and, for those who can, psychological or therapeutic care. As I said, watermelon is an interesting starting point in this context, but we can also mention other foods that collaborate with circulation, such as beets, garlic, avocados, pepper, and dark green leaves, rich in natural nitrates. Why then so much focus on watermelon? Because in addition to being easy to find and very refreshing, it is loaded with this amino acid I mentioned, citrulline, which can give that extra boost to the dilation of blood vessels. Some research indicates that the effect is even compared to certain drugs that act on this mechanism of improving penile circulation, but in a natural way, without the strongest side effects. Of course, each body reacts differently, but the most interesting thing is that consuming watermelon is good for several other areas of health, as it is rich in vitamins A, C, B6, potassium, and other nutrients. Another point of attention: many people in old age may have dietary restrictions due to diabetes or other conditions. Although watermelon is a fruit which naturally contains sugars, you need to talk to your doctor or nutritionist to find out the ideal amount. Everything can be adapted. The important thing is not to overdo it, but also not to deprive the body of nutrients that can be good. Regarding everyday life, if you find it complicated to include watermelon in your routine, think about turning it into part of breakfast or afternoon snack. If you prefer something more practical, make a quick juice, mixing watermelon and mint, for example. It is delicious and also helps to keep the body hydrated. And don't forget that the white part doesn't have to be completely discarded. Even if you use just a little bit of it, you'll already be increasing the amount of citrulline in the drink. Now let's not forget the company and affection either. Often, intimacy can benefit from simple moments, such as a lovingly prepared dinner, an unhurried conversation, a walk hand in hand, exchanges of glances, and subtle touches. Sexual pleasure in old age does not need to be in a hurry. It can be built calmly, paying attention to the small details that make the intimate moment something special. When we talk about quality of life, we are talking about body, mind, and relationships in tune. It's not just the physical part that counts. Sometimes a couple can have small frictions that accumulate over the years and, without realizing it, this undermines sexual desire. Therefore, the golden tip is talk. If something is bothering you, if there is discomfort at the time of touch, if libido has suddenly decreased, or if there has been a change in routine that has affected desire, putting everything into words helps to solve or seek help. Dialogue is still the best way to understand what is going on inside each one. Also, think about seeking reliable information. The internet is a huge world of data, but not everything is true or scientifically based. If you have very specific questions about your sexual health, seek qualified professionals such as urologists, gynecologists, or sex therapists. They will be able to perform exams and indicate personalized strategies, which can range from dietary changes, use of supplements, to couple therapies or, if applicable, specific medications. Remember, pleasure does not have a right age to happen. Old age can be a wonderful time to rediscover what brings joy and satisfaction. Now, if at any point you feel that you need to take it a step further, don't hesitate to seek help. Many people give up because they believe that that's just the way it is, or that it's past time. But this doesn't have to be true for everyone. There are numerous reports of men and women over the age of 60 or 70 living an active and satisfying sex life, and there is nothing wrong with that. Another point I want to reinforce is the issue of self-esteem. As we age, our body changes, our skin changes, our rhythm may get different, but that doesn't make us any less worthy of affection and intimacy. Learning to value these changes as part of the natural course of life can bring a very great lightness to moments of intimacy. You don't have to compare yourself to what you were in your 20s or 30s. The beauty of each phase is precisely in the experiences, in the maturation, in everything that has been lived. The body also tells this story and can continue to be a source of pleasure. So, mentally recap. Does watermelon help? Yes, because it contains citrulline, improves circulation, increases the production of nitric oxide. This is in addition to other care: balanced diet, physical exercise, good hydration, attention to mental and emotional health, and openness to seek professional help or talk about the topic. This set of factors forms the basis of a more pleasurable sex life in old age. Now, to make this video even more useful, think about how you can apply these tips in your daily life. It is no use just knowing, it is necessary to act. It is worth planning the week's menu, including watermelon and other good quality fruits, vegetables, legumes, and proteins. It is worth taking an extra step in exercising, even if it is a 15 to 30-minute walk a day, or going out dancing if you like music. It is also worth taking time to stretch or to take a deep breath and relax, relieving stress. And of course, it is worth talking to your partner about the changes you can make together. When there is complicity, the path becomes much lighter. I know that many people are afraid to talk about sexual health, but not talking about it doesn't solve anything. In fact, it can increase feelings of isolation or shame. Old age does not have to be a period of inhibition or abandonment of bodily pleasures. It can rather be a stage in which we discover new ways of loving and being loved, with more calm, more presence, more wisdom. And finally, if at any time you feel that the tips presented here were not enough to solve a specific difficulty, remember that just because it didn't work right away doesn't mean there is no solution. Each body has its own rhythm, and sometimes it is necessary to insist a little more, talk to a professional, adjust some medication that is already taken, or even check if there are any associated health problems, such as hypertension or diabetes, which can affect circulation and libido. The important thing is not to give up on seeking quality of life and pleasure at all stages. We are not talking about empty promises, but about real changes that can bring concrete benefits to the body and mind. And if you've made it this far, it means you're interested in improving that aspect of your life or the life of someone you love. Nothing fairer than starting by adopting habits that will only increase the feeling of well-being. In closing, I want to leave you with a message of encouragement. Take care of yourself as you would take care of someone you love very much. Take time to eat well, to get enough rest, to exercise, to smile, to feel joy in the little things. Respect your rhythm, your limits, but don't give up seeking pleasure and happiness. Age is just a number, and your body and mind deserve all the affection you can offer. I hope this content can help demystify sexual health in old age and show that the subject is not a seven-headed beast. With information, common sense, and some practical tips, it is possible to live better every day without giving up touch, connection, and the exchange of affection. Watermelon is just one of many keys that can open doors to greater satisfaction. Who knows? Starting today, you will start to look at this fruit in a different way and include it more consistently in your routine. May this be the beginning of a journey of self-knowledge, self-care, and many discoveries. If these tips have been helpful to you, it's worth sharing with others who could also benefit from this information. Let's together create a welcoming space where everyone feels free to learn more about their own body, regardless of age. Life continues to be full of opportunities, and one of them is precisely to take care of sexual health, a topic that is part of the integral care of who we are. Thank you very much for following me here. I want you to put into practice what you have learned. With every step we take towards a healthier life, the body responds in a positive way. And remember, it is never too late to seek a better quality of life and, of course, more satisfaction in all aspects. Old age can be a beautiful phase to rediscover pleasure, with maturity, tranquility, and the well-deserved respect for one's own rhythm. Stay firm on this journey and see you next time.